ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात् कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिम् यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः।
ॐ श्री
ॐ श्री
परमात्मने नमः।
परमात्मने नमः।
अथ पञ्चमोऽध्यायः।
अथ
अथ पञ्चमोऽध्यायः।
पञ्चमोऽध्यायः।
अर्जुन उवाच
अर्जुन
अर्जुन
उवाच
उवाच
सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च शंससि
सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च
संयोगं च
शंससि
यच्चेययेतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्
यच्छ्रेययेतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि
तन्मे ब्रूहि
सुनिश्चितम्।
सुनिश्चितम्।
श्रीभगवानुवाच
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 सन्न्यास सन्न्यासकर्मयोगश्च निःश्रेयसकरावुभौ
सन्न्यासः कर्मयोगश्च निःश्रेयसकरावुभौ
निःश्रेयसकरावुभौ।
तयोस्तु कर्मसन्न्यासात् कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते
तयोस्तु कर्मसन्न्यासात् कर्मयोगो
कर्मयोगो
विशिष्यते।
विशिष्यते।
पञ्चम अध्यायस्य आरम्भः अर्जुनस्य प्रश्नरूपेण भवति। सन्न्यासः वा कर्मयोगः वा। सन्न्यासः कर्मयोगः इति मार्गद्वयमस्ति। तयोः कः श्रेयो मार्गः इति अर्जुनस्य प्रश्नः। पूर्वं गत अध्याये तृतीय अध्याये भगवता उक्तं लोकेऽस्मिन् द्विविधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघ ज्ञानयोगेन सांख्यानां कर्मयोगेन योगिनाम् इति निष्ठाद्वयम् अस्ति। योग रूपनिष्ठा ज्ञान रूपनिष्ठा। योग रूपनिष्ठा योग ज्ञान योगः योग रूपनिष्ठ कर्मयोग, ज्ञान रूपनिष्ठ ज्ञाननिष्ठ ज्ञानयोगः। निष्ठा इत्युक्ते नितरां स्थितिः, जीवन पद्धति, तदेव निष्ठा इति पदेन तत्र उच्यते भगवता। कमिटेड लाइफ स्टाइल। गत अध्याये, चतुर्थ अध्याये भगवता सर्वकर्म संन्यासस्य प्रशंसा क्रियते। अतः अर्जुनः पृष्टवान्, कः श्रेयो मार्गः, संन्यासः वा कर्मयोगः वा इति। संन्यासः इत्युक्ते अविद्वत् कर्तृक संन्यासः इति वयं सम्यक् जानीमः। भगवता उपोद्घात अवतारिका भाष्ये, अवतारिक भाष्ये भगवता उक्तम्। अर्जुनस्य प्रश्नं श्रुत्वा भगवान् उक्तवान्, संन्यासः कर्मयोगः एतत् द्वयमपि, एतद्द्वयं निःश्रेयस साधने स्तः भवतः। उभौ निःश्रेयसकरौ, तथापि संन्यासात् कर्मसंन्यासात् केवल कर्मसंन्यासात् अविद्वत् कर्तृक कर्मसंन्यासात् कर्मयोगः विशिष्यते। संन्यासः भवतु अथवा कर्मयोगः भवतु, ज्ञानेन एव मोक्षः। ज्ञानं तु ज्ञानयोग्यतां विना ज्ञानं न सिद्ध्यति। ज्ञानयोग्यता तु कर्मयोगेन लभ्यते। अतः ज्ञानयोग्यतां विना संन्यासेन किं प्रयोजनं। संन्यासः क्लिष्टः भवति, संन्यासनिष्ठा क्लिष्टा भवति। अतः यद्यपि संन्यासः कर्मयोगः उभौ परंपरया कारणं भवति साधने भवतः, मोक्षसाधने भवतः, तथापि कर्मसन्न्यासात्, केवल कर्मसन्न्यासात् कर्मयोगः विशिष्यते इति भगवता उक्तम्। निश्चितरूपेण उक्तम्। तत् ब्रूहि निश्चितं मे इति अर्जुनेन पृष्टम्। अतः संन्यासात्, कर्मसन्न्यासात्, केवल कर्मसन्न्यासात् कर्मयोगः विशिष्यते। अतः निःश्रेयसकरत्वं संन्यासकर्मयोगयोः कर्मयोगस्य वैशिष्ट्यम्। एतद्वयं भगवता अस्मिन् श्लोके उक्तम्, अस्माभिः दृष्टं भाष्यसहितम्। गीता प्रियबोधिन्यां किञ्चित् अवशिष्यते, तत् पश्यामः। गीता प्रियबोधिनी, we have seen up to the marked point before. Last part. श्रौतस्मार्तादिलक्षणं कर्म, it is कर्म। गीता प्रिय बोधनी का शंकरानंद Swami Shankarananda beautifully says this version, next shloka also. Rautas smarta or smartadi, that is Shruti Vigita, Smriti Vigita, Adi. Lakshanam karma, karma which is characterized by, or karma which is Shruti Vigita karma, smarta, Smriti Vigita karma, eva Parameshwara Prityai, परमेश्वर प्रीत्यर्थम मम पात समस्त तीर्थक्षय द्वारा श्री परमेश्वर प्रीत्यर्थम परमेश्वर प्रीत्यै श्रद्धया समनुतिष्ठतः सम्यक् अनुतिष्ठतः कः अविद्वान् अविदुषः ऋणत्रय निवृत्तिः तज्जन्य ऋणत्रयम् वित्तेशना लोकेशना पुत्रेशना, sorry, ऋणत्रयम्, ऋणम्, not Loki, Reshnatrayam, Ridatrayam, Nivritti, Janya, Indradi Devata Prasade, Ishvara Prasade, Indriya Prasada, by the grace of Indradi Devata, that is Ishvara Prasade, Indriya Prasadaha, Indriya becomes, that is sense organs, by following Karma Yoga, by following Karma Yoga, the sense organs, which was highly agitate before, now becomes, now it becomes calm, quiet, because karma is done with the attitude of yoga, that's Ishwararpanam. Therefore, there is no raga, there is no dvesha. Or setting aside raga dvesha, karma is performed. Therefore, there is Indriya Prasadaha, Anaprasade, Indriya Prasadaha. Therefore, Tataha, Chitta Shuddhi, Indriya Prasada, then therefore Chitta Shuddhi, Antakarna Shuddhi. Evam Adi Jnana Sadhana Sampatti ki Siddhyati. By that Jnana Sadhana. In other words, Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti ki. That is Jnana Sadhanam. Amanittam Adambittam Ahimsa Kshanti Rajavam. As said in 13th chapter. Jnana Sadhanam. Sampatti Siddhyati accomplishes. Avidwan accomplishes by following Karma Yoga. Antakarna Shuddhi. Gain Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. Asmadetoho. Asmadetoho, this is Heto Panchami. Vibhasha Gune Striyam. Asmadetoho Karma Yogaha Ukta Lakshanat Sannyasat Vishishtataraha Bhavati. Because of this reason, Karma Yoga is better than Ukta Sannyasa, which is talked about. Vishishtataraha, comparative Tarap Pratyaya. It is superior, greater, better. Ataha, therefore, Sadhana Shunyena Abhidusha Sahasa Sannyasah Na Kartavyaha. Therefore, without the Jnana Sadhanam, in the absence of Jnana Sadhanam, if a person takes sannyasa, what will happen? That will be detrimental for the person. Therefore, Abhidusha Sahasa, without preparation, sannyasah na kartavyaha should not be taken. Karma eva Ishwararpana buddhya samyak kartavyam iti siddham. Therefore, karma should be done with the attitude of Ishwararpana buddhi and sadha buddhi. That is karma yoga. That alone constitutes karma yoga. Nanu न्यासमेषां तपसाम् अतिरिक्तमागु इति सन्न्यासस्य एव उत्कृष्टत्वं श्रूयते ततः भगवतः सन्न्यास न्यक्कारपूर्वकं कर्मयोगस्य उत्कृष्टत्ववर्णनम् अयुक्तमिति चेत् न सन्न्यासा is praised by his statements like न्यासं येषां न्यासं तपसाम् अतिरिक्तम् आगुः इति Sannyasa is praised. Sannyasa utkrishtatvam. Greatness of sannyasa is heard by statements like this. But Bhagavan is dismissing sannyasa nyakkara purvakam, dismissing, belittling, downplaying. Karma yoga utkrishtatva varnam. He presents karma yoga as utkrishta, as greater. Karma yoga se utkrishtatva varnam. Varnam is description. Utkrishtatvam, the status of being greater. Utkrishta, superior. Therefore, that is not proper. Ayuktam iti chet. No, it is not so. Why? Sarva loka anugraha hetutvat bhagavat pravrittehe purvam na jagate mriyate va ityadi vakyekhi amudanam atmatattvam tat sadharam karma sannyasam sarva karma sannyasam cha upadishya sarva loka anugraha hetutvat bhagavat pravrittehe Bhagavad Pravrtehe. Urvam Bhagavata Uktam. Najayate Mriyate Va Kadachit. Iti second chapter. Sarva Loka Anugraha Hetutvat. Sarva Loka is also people. Anugraha, blessings, grace. Hetuhu, Karanam Hetuhu, the cause. Bhagavad Pravrtehe. Bhagavad Pravrtehe, in saying so, Bhagavan, the Pravritti of Bhagavan, in this teaching of Bhagavan, the reason is that Purvam Bhagavata Uktam, what Najayate Mriyate Va iti Amudanam, those who are not deluded. Atma Tattvam Tat Sadhanam Karma Sanyasam Cha Upadeshya. Having taught Atma Tattvam, second chapter, Atma Tattvam, the nature of Atma talked about, and Tat Sadhanam, that is Atma Jnanasya Sadhanam, that is Sarvakarma Sanyasam Cha Upadeshya, having taught. Here, Bhagavataha Pravritti in teaching Karma Yoga is Idanim Sriyam Vidyam Prajnam Prakritim Cha Para Para Gamana Shaktim Cha Avijnaya Ajnanat Kutaschit Nimittat Sahasa Sanyasya Mudaha Patishyanti iti. Now here, Sriya Vidyam, one's own knowledge, Prajnam, and Prakriti, nature, and Para Gamana Shakti, power to Shakti, the capability to cross over this portion of samsara. This Ajnanam, samsara, not knowing, not knowing one's capability, ability. By somehow the person takes a sannyasa, Kutaschita Nimitta, by some karanam, because of some reason, because he did not get probably what he wanted in life, therefore take the sannyasa. What he wants in life, he didn't get, therefore sannyasa. So sahasa sannyasasya mudaha patishyanti, they fall, they slip from the spiritual path, because sannyasa are not taken with vairagya, absence of vairagya. That's what it means here. Iti tan uddhartum atra aprakritam api prakritya karma yogam tesham karmani eva pravritti siddhaye karma yogam stauti. Therefore, in order to raise them up, lift them up, aprakritam api, even though it is aprakritam, not the subject matter, but karma yoga is karma prakritya karma yogam tesham karmani eva pravritti siddhaye, in order to make them engage in karma, pravritti siddhaye, kasmin karmani eva, because not fit for sannyasa. Therefore, karma yoga stauti. It is because by karma yoga at least they will prepare themselves for sannyasa. Without preparation taking the sannyasa, they mudaha patishyanti iti Bhagavan feels so. Therefore, he praises karma yoga. So that karma yogam stauti, karma yoga visheshate iti. Tato sannyasam nirakarati, doesn't dismiss sannyasa, raises karma yoga in order to karmani pravritti siddhaye, to accomplish the pravritti in karma for those people whom Bhagavan wants to lift them up, because without preparation taking to sannyasa, they may fall from the spiritual path. Therefore, karma yoga is praised by Bhagavan. At the same time, sannyasa is not nirakaroti, dismisses. This is what we have to sukshma vishaya, we have to understand. Sannyasasya sarupatvat sarvottamatvat cha. Sannyasa is sannyasasya sarupatvat. Sannyasa is being with oneself, giving up. What can you give up? Anatma, which is not you. Anatma tyaga, anatma abhimana tyaga is sannyasa. It means Atma, Atma Bhimani. Atma Bhimani is Aham Atma Satchit Ananda Brahma Jagat Karanam Asmiti. It is Sarvottamatvacha. Therefore, how can Bhagavan dismisses sannyasa? Sannyasa is Anatma Abhimana Tyagaha Swatma Swatma Abhimana Srikaranam. That is possible only when the person understands and dismisses the Anatma. Because there is a Satyandrita Mittunikaranam. Satyam and Mithya both are mixed up in the mind of the person. The person mixes up. They are they are entwined as though both there are no two things, only one Atma and Anatma. Therefore, therefore the person commits mistake and is samsara. Therefore, to come out from samsara, meaning Anatma Vimana Tyagaha, without that sannyasa, without that jnanam, how is it possible? Therefore, sannyasa is being with oneself. Sannyasa is being, just being. Being with what? Being with oneself as oneself. Therefore, it is sarvottamatvacha. Sarva uttama it is. Therefore, nyasa iti brahma, brahma hi paraha iti nyasa eva atyarechare. Iti sannyasasya brahmatva sarvasreshta tamatva shavanat tataha sarvayaga stuti parama eva iti etad vachanam iti nischetavyam. Therefore, nyasa iti brahma, brahma hi paraha iti nyasaha eva atyarechare. Iti sannyasasya brahmatva sarvasreshta tamatva shavanat. Sannyasa is sarvasreshta tamatvam. This sreshta already ishtan pratya, then tama also. Brahmatva sarvasreshta tamatva shavanat sannyasasya. Sannyasa is greater than Brahmatvam. Status of being a Brahmaji, even Brahmaji's position, sannyasa. Therefore, nyasa iti Brahma, Brahma hi paraha iti nyasa, repetition it is. Therefore, Brahmatva is Brahmaji, the status of that Brahma Padavi. Brahmat, therefore give up that. Iti sannyasa is eva Brahmatva sarvasreshtatva samapana. Brahmatvam, Atmatvam, which is sarvasreshta, tamaha. The status of being that. Sarvasreshta tamatvam, samanat. It is heard from the Shruti. What Shruti is? Therefore, tataha, karma yoga stutihi, parma eva iti etad vachanam, iti nischetavyam. Sannyasasya utkrishta sreshta tamat prashravanat, tataha, from the sannyasa, karma yoga stutihi, karma yoga stuti, parma eva etad vachanam, iti nischetavyam. Nischetavyam means to be determined. When sannyasa is praised in karma yoga stutihi, karma yoga stuti parama, that's Sandhi. Karma yoga stuti parama eva, iti tadvachanam nischetavyam. Karma yoga is stuti parama. Stuti parama is, it is for the sake of praising karma yoga. Iti etad vachanam nischetavyam, should be nischetavyam, should be concluded, should be decided, should be understood. Nischetavyam. So karma yoga is suti parama. Suti parama. Parama eva etad vachanam. Bhagavan praises karma yoga. It means sannyasa is not greater. Is that meaning? No. Karma yoga stuti is the karma yoga stuti is Bhagavan does for a reason. For a reason. because sannyasa is difficult, it's not easy for all. It requires certain preparation. Therefore, karma yoga is compared to sannyasa, it is easy, and one can prepare oneself in the grastha. Therefore, compared to sannyasa, ashrama grastha is better. Therefore, karma yoga stuti is done. Stuti parama, it has the objective. The stuti has got the objective. The objective is not to dismiss, not to downplay, not to put down sannyasa, is to praise karma yoga. That is stuti parama. Because karma yoga is praised, not sannyasa nirakaranam karo, kriyata bhagavata. Depends on the adhikari. Now, having done that, now the next shloka. So, karma yoga vishishyate, karma sannyasat. The bhagavata uktam, karma yoga is vishishyate. Karma yoga is vishishtatvam, we know why this vishishyate, why Bhagavan praises karma yoga. And also because he praises karma yoga doesn't mean it dismisses sannyasa. Therefore, here keeping in mind the aspirants, the Arjuna like audience, therefore Bhagavan says karma yoga vishishyate. For the one those who are not prepared, karma karna uchyate, yogarudasya shama karna uchyate. That Bhagavan says in the next chapter. For the one who has already prepared himself for nididhyasanam, nishta, what is the use of karma for them? Karma yoga is not for them. Therefore, depends on the adhikari. So, adhikari vedat, sadhana vedaha. Here, this karma yoga sadhanam is meant for the adhikaris who are ajnani, spiritual aspirants. So, therefore, karma yoga vishishite for them. Now, Bhagavan says, now the Bhashyakara says, connect to the next shloka. Why Bhagavan praises karma yoga? Kasmaditi aha.
Kasmati
Nyayas sanitya sannyasi yo nadveshti na kankshati.
Yes, nitya sannyasi, yo nadveshti na
Kankshati.
kankshati.
Nirdvandho hi mahabhaho sambandhat pramuchyate.
Nirbandho hi mahabaho sukam bandhat pramuchyate.
All these explanations have to be given because people take literally the meaning of the shloka and praises karma yoga. Karma yoga is shishyate, sannyasa is not. But to see the context, to see the advice, upadesha for whom, all these matters. No upadesha is universal. No upadesha is universal. That is one with regard to the truth. That is for moksha. Jnanam is the sadhanam. Jnanena eva moksha. That is upadesha. That is without jnanam, avidya, nivritti cannot happen. Avidya, nivritti is moksha prapti. That is the ultimate upadesha. But jnana sadhanam, that jnanam happens only when person is ready. So therefore, adhikari veda is there. So therefore, upadesha, there it differs. That differs from person to person. Depends on who asks for the upadesha. If the person who asks is an adhikari, is sadhana chatushtaya sampannaha, then like Shaunaka, Mundaka, or the six disciples in the Prashnopanishada, Nachiketa, then Atma Tattva Padesha is given. Even Arjuna also it is given in the beginning Bhagavan gave. Then having understood, because Bhagavan knows Arjuna as a friend also. Therefore, he suggests karma yoga. That is why Gita is, in that way it is different from the Upanishads. The Upanishads, the Shishya approaches a teacher as for knowledge. There it is assumed that Shishyas are ready, students are ready. Ya sadhana chatushtaya sampannaha. But here the Upadesha is given in the when there is intense activity in the midst of the battlefield. And Arjuna is fighting, yeah, all the way, all through his life. So his hardships, yes, aspiring for this battle, full of rajas. So to that person, how can he suggest sannyasa? So therefore, since many of us falls into this category, Karma Yoga is the sadhanam for preparing for jnanam. That is why Bhagavan praises Karma Yoga. In Gita only such approach is taken. Gita is like the Upanishad. Both Atma Tattvam is taught for the fit audience. Karma Yoga also is taught. And Karma Yoga is more emphasized here. Because majority falls under this category. Therefore, Upanishad study requires some prior knowledge, some prior preparation. But Gita, it starts from the basic. So that is why Gita is universal. So now here, Kasmad Ityaha, Kasmad, Kimartam Bhagavata Karmayogasya Prashamsa Kriyate Bhagavata. Why Karma Yoga is better than Sannyasa? Why Karma Yoga is better than Sannyasa? Why Bhagavan says? Is Karma Yoga better than Sannyasa? That we cannot say, you cannot compare. In fact, Karma Yoga is Utkrishta. It is greater. But here in the Gita, Bhagavan compares this because Karma Yoga, it is Stuti Parama. Bhagavan praises Karma Yoga. Therefore, why Bhagavan praises Karma Yoga? If that is asked, then he says, for that answer is, Karma Yoga is better than Sannyasa. Again, what Sannyasa, that is why in the beginning, Acharya has given beautiful avatarika. Sannyasa, we talk about. What sannyasa? It is not Vidvat sannyasa. You cannot compare Vidvat sannyasa and Karma Yoga at all. The sannyasa is greater only. And what sannyasa is compared? Vividisha sannyasa. Vividisha sannyasa and Karma Yoga. These two only can be compared. Not Vidvat sannyasa. So sannyasa is Utkrishta, is that Vidvat sannyasa is Utkrishta. That is the goal. Sarvakarma sannyasa. But here sannyasa, is Vidisha sannyasa, Kevala karma tyagaha, that is talked, that is compared. So, comparison between Karma Yoga and Vidisha Sannyasa. And Karma Yoga is better than Vidisha Sannyasa. Why? That Bhagavan says why it is. Karma Yoga is better is Bhagavan substantiates here. How? Nyayasya Nitya Sannyasi Yona Dveshti Nakangshati. Yaha Saha Nitya Sannyasi. Yaha Saha. Yattat Sambandha. Yaha na Dveshti na Kangshati Saha Sannyasi. Iti Nyayaha Nyatavyaha. So Yaha na Dveshti. This is definition of this is a Nitya Sannyasi. Sannyasi is defined. So who is a sannyasi? The sannyasi is one who is free from raga and dvesha. The one who is free from these pairs of opposites, raga and dvesha. There is neither raga nor dvesha, neither raga for people, neither raga for situations, neither raga for any relationship, neither raga for any experiences, nor dvesha for people or any experiences, whatever comes, or any situations. Vidrichalava santushtaha, dvandvatito vivatsaraha. The previous chapter, Bhagavan says. That is what sannyasa. Whatever it comes, he just accept. There is no raga, there is no dvesha. He is with reference to the objects or people or situations is sannyasa. He has got objective outlook, but objectivity is natural for a sannyasi. He has outgrown the, the tendency for preferences. He doesn't have any preferences, doesn't go after or doesn't get disturbed by anything. That is what sannyasi is. The presence of things do not affect him. The absence of things also doesn't affect him. There is no anchoring for the objects. There is no displeasure created by the presence of objects or people or situations. So sannyasa is giving up. He doesn't give up painfully. He gives up because he sees a value in it. He has grown out of things, therefore giving up is natural. He has outgrown. So there is, therefore the pain is not there. The pain is there, then it is not giving up. Painfully you give up. Maybe that is in the beginning as a sadhana, but grown out. The desire for balloon, we have given up. When we say we have given up the desire for balloon, we have outgrown the desire. But there is no desire for it. We have outgrown. Similarly, as we grow up, the desire changes, the objects of desire changes. We outgrow after some time when we grow. That growth, a sannyasi has, that inner disposition, the inner the disposition a sannyasi has. That person, therefore, he doesn't have raga for things, preferences for things, neither raga, neither dvesha. So therefore, that person is a sannyasi. That person only is called a sannyasi. He never judges people. There is no raga for the person who is nice with him. There is no dvesha for the person who is very hard with him. Every time he approaches the person, the person is fresh in his mind, doesn't carry forward his previous experiences. That is why he is very objective. Objective outlook, yes. It doesn't mean that person doesn't gain because of previous experience with the person. It's not that. But the person doesn't judge a person. He's has got an objective outlook toward the person. We understand the person. We understand the behavior of the person. He understands the unkind, unruly, the behavior of the person. If the person reacts, means that person has got certain background. So understanding the background, so once two step back, not reacting to the person or the situations, understanding. So it is just stepping back one step, then understands, have compassion for the person, then he puts himself in the situation, the person, then have empathy. So it starts with compassion, then empathy, finally knowledge. That person, oh, whatever it may be, is not different from me. That is jnana, knowledge. Person or situation or whatever, relationships, objects, whatever it may be, that is not different from me. That is ultimately knowledge. Therefore, starts with compassion, then empathy, then finally culminates in knowledge. Because of jnanam, the sannyasi doesn't have raga or dvesha. So therefore, the sannyasi is one who doesn't have raga or dvesha. If sannyasi is so, what about karma yogi? A karma yogi is one who manages his raga dvesha, who does karma for the sake of Ishvara Arpana, setting aside his raga and dvesha. Even though he doesn't want that action, that doesn't want to do that particular karma, it does because it is to be done. It is the order, Ishvara's order. It is to be done. Not doing will disturb the harmony. Therefore, he has to do it. Therefore, he does it. Not that he skips that. There is no dereliction of duty. Even though he doesn't like, it does it. Because Ishwararpana Buddhya, it does that. It's karma to be done, therefore it does. That is why Bhavan asking Arjuna to do this Yuddha Ghora Karma, even though Yuddha there will be disaster. Having known that, Bhagavan urges Arjuna to do because it is to be done. So setting aside the raga or dvesha, if what to be done, if action, what to be done is keeping with your liking, then there is no problem. We complain only when we don't like. That is the challenge of for Karma Yogi. Therefore, Karma Yogi does that. Even though he doesn't like, he does. Even though he likes certain things that is not supposed to do, he won't do. Therefore, setting aside the raga dvesha, he performs karma. Therefore, in terms of outward action, is it not same as a sannyasi? A sannyasi who has naturally outgrown of raga dvesha, that is the sadhya, that is a sadhanam for this karma yogi. Therefore, karma yogi can be called sannyasi, even though he has not taken sannyasa, he has not done viraja homa, not taken to sannyasa, doesn't change his clothes color, doesn't go for diksha, but he has the attitude of Ishwararpana buddhi and prasada buddhi. He set aside ragadvesha and does his karma, do his karma as a sannyasi who doesn't have ragadvesha. In that sense, a karma yogi is also a sannyasi, nitya sannyasi, always, not kada chitka sannyasi, not sometimes, he is ever. He is nitya sannyasi, not kada chitka, not occasional. He is not sannyasi only in certain situation or with certain people or certain objects. Always. Therefore, karma yogi is also a sannyasi only. Sannyasi, karma yogi sannyasi, it is with upachara. He is not a sannyasi. It's a grastha. How can be called a sannyasi? He is praised as a Santya sannyasi because he has the attitude of karma yoga. Therefore, he is called a sannyasi. Karma yoga implies setting aside ragadvesha, doing one's duty as offering to the Lord. Therefore, in that sense, he is a sannyasi only. Therefore, nitya sannyasi, saha, nyayaha, nyatavyaha, as what? As a nitya sannyasi. Nitya sannyasi, always a sannyasi. Yaha, taha, yaha na dveshti, who doesn't hate people, doesn't hate any situations, objects, relationship, whatever it is. Na kangshati, doesn't crave for that also. There is no craving, there is no hatred. Therefore, na dveshti, na kangshati, nirdvandvaha, he is free from all the pairs of opposites. Nirdvandvaha, ye mahabaho, ye Arjuna, that person, bandhat, what bandha, samsara bandhat, sukam pramuchyate, easily. Sukam is visheshanam. It is visheshana. Kriya visheshanasya karamatvam vishyate napumsakatvam pratama ditya ekvachanantam cha is adverbial. Sukam, easily. Bandhat pramuchyate is released from bandha easily. Who this person, Nitya Sannyasi, Karma Yogi, who is free from the pairs of opposites, free from raga dvesha. Therefore, such person becomes, who is free from raga and dvesha, who is free, who looks at objectively the situation which are pleasant or unpleasant, because his goal is only Bhagavan. Therefore, Bhagavad Prityartam Karma Kurute, it means he pursues knowledge. Therefore, he is released from bondage, samsara bandha, easily. Pramachyate, prakarshena, become easily. He becomes free. Therefore, sannyasi here is, Karma Yogi is elevated to the sannyasi, that sannyasi, the sannyasa is Gona sannyas, not real sannyas. Because Karma Yogi has the attitude of sannyasa, therefore, in terms of his guna, it's a sannyas. Gona sannyasa, Gona sannyasi. So Bhagavan praises Karma Yogi as a sannyasi. It's an honor for a Karma Yogi. Because he undertakes the sadhanam, and the sadhanam, in course of time, the sadhanam, what he deliberately does, becomes sadhyam, becomes spontaneous, natural for him. So though raga dvesha he does, and later that becomes spontaneous, natural for him. So therefore he is a sannyasi, nitya sannyasi, gona sannyasi, iti. So once raga dveshas are not there, chitta is relatively pure, then he is ready for shastra shravanam. And therefore, jnanam nididhyasanam, jnanam jnanishta, he becomes free. Therefore, sukham bandhat pramuchyate, because he is prepared now. Therefore, by shravanam, mananam, nididhyasanam, nishta, becomes free from samsara, bandhat. Not karma yogena bandhat. So it's important. Sukham bandhat pramuchyate, bandhat jnanena pramuchyate. Karma yoga preparation for jnanam, jnana sadhanam, which is in the form of shravanam, mananam, nididhyasanam, and leading a lifestyle of nishta, jnana nishta. And that is, it becomes easy. Once he is ready, then jnanam happens and nishta, and therefore becomes free from samsara easily, in no time. Achirat adhigachyati, in other place, Bhagavan says, with no time gap, immediately. Now let us read the Bhashya. ज्ञेयः ज्ञातव्यः
ज्ञेयः
ज्ञेयः
ज्ञातव्यः
ज्ञातव्यः
सः कर्मयोगी.
सः
सः
कर्मयोगी
कर्मयोगी
Can Vitarka go there? It's a typo or something. No? We are all Vaiyakarana, okay. No? Etat tadoho sulopo rakonan samase ali. One sutram is 132, remember? For Yeshaha and Saha, when followed by Hal, the Su pratyaya, pratama vakti ekavachan, Su lopaha bhavati. Yes or no?
yes
yes yes
yes
Therefore, what will happen to Visarga there? Will it be there or will it go away?
Lopa.
Or you
lopa
will apply
Lopa.
kuppo kaf
No,
poucha?
no, no. No, no.
lopa
Lopa.
Lopaha bhavati sa karma yogi. Okay. So it is that sutra 6132 applies. Why? Because it is in the Sapada Saptadhyaya. Okay. Apavada is there in the Tripadi. Therefore, sa karma yogi, it is job. Okay. So it is, when we split, we have to say saha karma yogi. I split and say. Nitya sannyasi iti
नित्य
सन्यासी
सन्यासी
इति
yo na dveshti
यो
यो
न
न
द्वेष्टि
द्वेष्टि
kinchit na kankshati
किञ्चित्
किञ्चित्
न
न
काङ्क्षति
काङ्क्षति
sukha dukkhe tat sadhane cha.
सुखदुःखे न
सुखे तत्साधने
तत्साधने
च
च
Evam vidaha yaha
एवं
एवं
विधः
विधः
यः
यः
karmani vartamanopi
कर्मणि
कर्मणि
वर्तमानोऽपि
वर्तमानोऽपि
sanitya sannyasi iti jnatavyah
स
ityartah.
सः
स
नित्यसन्न्यासी
नित्यसन्न्यासी इति
ज्ञातव्यः
ज्ञातव्यः
इत्यर्थः
इत्यर्थः
Nirdvandvah dvandvavarjitah
निर्द्वन्द्वः द्वन्द्ववर्जितः
निर्द्वन्द्ववर्जितः
hi yasmat
हि
यस्मात्
यस्मात्
mahabaho
महाबाहो
महाबाहो
sukham bandhat anayasena pramuchyate.
सुखं
बन्धात्
बन्धायासेन
प्रमुच्यते।
मुच्यते
ज्ञेयः यत्प्रत्यय ज्ञादातु आ is replaced by what? A? No. A is replaced by E. Idyati one sutram is there. Then yat pratyaya follows akara of akaranta replaced by E. Then yet causes guna, E will become ye, therefore jneyaha is equal to, this is kritya, is equal to jnatavyaha, jnaniyaha, you can say that, jnaniyaha, jneyaha, jnatavyaha, should be known, should be understood, should be known, jnatavyaha. What? Saha karma yogi, that karma yogi is nitya sannyasi iti jnatavyaha. That person should be understood as karma. That karma yogi should be understood as nitya sannyasi. Ever sannyasi. Kaha saha yaha na dveshti. Kinchit na dveshti. Doesn't dvishtatu. Dveshti is latlakara. Dveshti. Dvish plus tipratya. Second conjugation. So therefore, second conjugation, shab comes and shab becomes look. Dveshti. Yosman Dveshti comes in Upanishad also. Dveshti. So Yaha na Dveshti, the one who doesn't hate Kinchit. Kinchit is the karma. Kinchit is karma and it is Avyaya, therefore Kinchit only. So Yaha na Dveshti, the one who doesn't Kinchit na Dveshti. Similarly, na Kankshati doesn't have desire, Icha, Kankshati doesn't anchor for anything. Therefore, Sukha Dukkhe, in experiencing the Sukha or Dukkha, see, Dvesha for certain things is there because there is some unpleasant Anubhava experience. Therefore, we hate things. Because it is unpleasant, therefore we hate. Similarly, we love something because there is pleasant experience. So therefore, the Anubhava based Dvesha and this Icha, Raga, Dvesha, all Anubhava based. Anubhava based on the Anubhava comes because of the Anubhava has got the Anubhava, the experience comes either because those objects were available and of experienced, or we anchor for those objects and then experience and then gain Anubhava. In whatever way it may be. But there is Anubhava, Dukkha Anubhava. Therefore, Sukha Dukkhe, that is sadhanecha. That is, sadhanam means Sukha Dukkha, pain and pleasure. Sukha Dukkhe, tat sadhane Sukha Dukkhe cha. Sukha Dukkhe, what vibhakti? It is Sukha Dukkha is Dvandva Samasa. Sukham cha Dukkham cha Sukha Dukkhe. Sukha Dukkhe tat sadhane Sukha Dukkhe cha. So it is Ditya vibhakti dvivachanam. Sukham Sukha Dukkhe tat sadhane Sukha Dukkhe cha. Chakarat tat sadhane Sukha Dukkha and the means for gaining Sukha Dukkha. So yaha Sukha Dukkhe tat sadhane cha na dveshti na kankshati. Or we have to make like that. Yaha Sukham tat sadhane cha na kankshati. Yaha Dukkham tat sadhane cha na dveshti. You can split that into this. You have to understand. Sukha Dukkhe is 2. Tritya vibhakti dvivachanam. Tat sadhanam, tatsya sadhanam, Sukha Dukkha sadhanam. So the means for gaining Sukha, the means for gaining Dukkha. the means for gaining, and the sadhanam is sadhanam. Sukha dukkha is the experience, anubhava, which has come because of the sukha dukkha, which is derived out of it is anubhava based. It is anubhava. Sukha dukkha is anubhava, experience. So when dukkham is there, when dukkham is when something unpleasant, dukkham, when pain is experienced, then with regard to the anubhava and with regard to that sadhanam, that means that cause, the person will have dvesha. But sannyasi, nitya sannyasi will not have dvesha. Similarly, with regard to the sukham, the sukha anubhava, the pleasure experience, and the sadhanam for that, generally a person will have ichcha. But nitya sannyasi, na kankshati, na ichchati, he will not have ichcha for it. So sukha dukkhe tat sadhanecha, that is karma, object. Vidya Bhakti Vivachan. Yaha sukha dukkhe tat sadhanecha, na dveshti, na kankshati. That's why I said this. Dvesha will be there for dukkha and dukkha sadhanam. That's why you can split. And Kamksha, Icha will be there for Sukha and Sukha Sadhanam. Therefore, we can understand Yaha Sukham Tat Sadhanecha Na Kamkshati, Yaha Dukkam Tat Sadhanecha Na Tveshti, Saha Nitya Sannyasi, Saha Karma Yogi, Nitya Sannyasi iti Jnatavyaha should be known as Nitya Sannyasi. The person is outgrown of his raga and dvesha. He has prasada buddhi. Therefore, whatever comes, accepts as Ishvara prasada. He has got vairagya. He has got a spirit, the, the characteristics of a sannyasi, that guna, in terms of guna. Therefore, he is a nitya sannyasi. Nitya sannyasi means the person is not a sannyasi, that's why it's called nitya sannyasi. If the person is already a sannyasi, then what's the point in calling nitya sannyasi? The person is not a sannyasi. To call a person a sannyasi as nitya sannyasi has got no meaning. Here, karma yogi is called nitya sannyasi because he has the attitude of a sannyasi, therefore he is called nitya sannyasi. Evam midaha is compound. Evam midaha yasya saha. Evam midaha, the person who is of this type. Saha, that person. Karmani pravartamanopi, even though he is engaged in karma, he should be, because sannyasi doesn't engage in karma. Sannyasi is one who has given up karma. Karma a person takes up only when he has something to accomplish. First is the icha must be there to accomplish, therefore takes up karma. Where is icha? There is no icha based action, desire prompted activities for a sannyasi. Therefore, this karma yogi, even though he engages in karma, is a nitya sannyasi because his action is not icha based. It is to be done, therefore he does. Karmani pravrittamanopi, in the last chapter, it's a karma pravrittopi, naiva kichit karoti yaha. Even though the person engages in karma, he doesn't do anything. Therefore, in that sense, saha nitya sannyasi, karma yogi, nitya sannyasi, iti jnatavyaha, saha nirdundaha, dvandavarjitaha, free from raga dvesha. Not only raga dvesha, shita, ushna, sukha, dukkha, all the pairs of opposites. Nirdvandaha, referring to the person. Nirgataha, dvandaha, yasmat. The person who has, from whom the dvandvas, the pairs of opposites, anubhava, the is free from the pairs of opposites. Dvandvat nirgat, dvandvat, dvandvebhyaha, nirgataha, yasmat, from whom? Or, yeah, the person, it is, who is nirgataha, dvandvaha, yasmat is one bahu, as bahuvigi we can say, or nirgataha, dvandvat also. We can take it as tatpurusha also. That is dvandvat, nirgataha, dvandvat. So possible. Tatpurusha. The person who has freed himself from the pairs of opposites. Shitoshna, Sukha, Dukkha, all this. Manapa, Manapamana, Labha, Labha, from all pairs of opposites, free from that. Dvandva eki varjitaha, dvandva varjitaha. That is Tritiya Tatpurusha. He, yes, because of that, a Mahavaho, a Arjuna, Sukam Bandhat Pramukchate. Sukam is Anayasena. Ayasa, na ayasaha, anayasaha. Nanch. Anayasena means without effort. Not without effort. Easily, with a little effort. We say almost effortlessly. Anaya, alparte nanchiyat. Ayasa is effort. Anayasena is effortlessly. Without effort, what can you achieve? Nothing. Means the effort is relatively less. So, not absence of effort. So, anayasena, easily, compared to the Vividisha sannyasi who has to struggle hard. That ayasa, Veda is a difference is Karma Yogi easily gets released from the bandha, from the kshete, by jnanam. But of course, we need to supply jnanam. Jnanena, because ready for jnanam, therefore Shravana Matrena jnanam bhavati, therefore anayasena pramachyate, bandhat, samsara bandhat. The Gita Priya Bodhini, we will see in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Dhanyavadah.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी।
धन्यवादः जी।
Dhanyavadah.